You're listening to Turi Writer's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, Marcy's new puppy is almost housebroken. What exactly does almost mean? Also, another marital discord lesson, this one involving the use of the word okay. And some people, perhaps even you, like to spend time away from their partners. If I understand you correctly, the new puppy and the baby have worn you right out.
Don't tell my husband that.
What is he
Not
going to
tell him that.
You cannot return the baby.
I'm not returning my puppy either. He's adorable. I love him. He's like almost 99.5% potty trained.
It's that 0.5% that'll get you every time.
It's the 0.5% that wakes me up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go for a walk.
You chose this time with your arm in a cast,
a flashlight,
and a brand new baby in your house, and the baby's mother going back to work full time, and you will be doing childcare 2 days a week. And so, what you decided you really needed right now?
She got a babysitter.
Well,
she got a babysitter.
I invited you to record this podcast earlier, and what you said to me was...
Well, she was busy for an hour.
Aha.
Until the doctor tells me it's okay to lift 20 pounds. I can't babysit him.
But by the time you're authorized to lift 20 pounds, that baby will weigh 30 pounds.
Yeah, but the puppy will be totally 100% housebroken and hopefully trained not to eat goat poop. And he'll be able to go back in the dog yard where dogs belong.
Oh, boy.
But I'm stacking up a lot of steps. So there's your good one. I get up at 4 a.m. I have my trusty flashlight. We walk until he goes twice. And he gets half a treat each time. Yes, my husband has been giving me plenty of grief. Even though I'm not asking him to do anything. I'm doing it all myself.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to play a violin now for your martyrdom.
No, I'm not. I'm not a martyr. I choose this.
That's called being a martyr.
Well, he has nothing to be upset about because I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
The definition of martyrdom. How many times a day does he have the 0.5 accidents?
Only once.
Okay.
His accident today was the other dog's fault.
What? You can blame a puppy's accident on another dog? That's a good one.
Yeah, but he had just woken up. And she went for him, and he just scared the pee out of him, literally.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that was the other dog's fault.
Yeah.
I understand having the pee scared right out of you. I've been having that feeling a lot lately.
My husband does that every time we go camping.
I never heard that Frankie scares the pee out of you. I thought the reason that you didn't camp anymore was because you're forgetting everything and you're camping on the other half of your 5 acres. But what really happens is that Frankie ends up running laps back and forth to the house for all the stuff you forgot to pack in the first place.
Yeah, that's good for him. Good exercise.
You know, for a long time, I felt bad having a spouse who was very athletic when I am not. But then I just discovered that when you have somebody in your life who loves to run around, it's fun to make him run around.
There you go.
I almost purposely forget stuff now just to watch him run up and down 3 flights of stairs and not even be winded. It fills me with joy.
We're kind of on an even par as far as losing or forgetting things. Like, I will find his sunglasses while he will go get me more blankets. So we even out. We even out on that stuff.
That's a marriage.
But no way am I walking to the house when it's 26 degrees out from halfway across the property. No.
No, you'll just have to walk that little puppy when it's 26 degrees out.
Oh, it's been in the teens. I keep my clothes close by the bed. As soon as I hear him bark, I'm like dressed like the Flash when we go hiking.
The spousal unit has left to do some work, and he'll be gone for a little while. And it's weird because I feel like it's a strange sort of jubilation when he leaves. It's not like I would feel terrible if he were never coming back. But as far as I know, he is planning to come back. It's the same kind of jubilation I had the first time I rented an apartment with a washer and a dryer in the unit, and I realized that I could have every single piece of my clothing clean and dry at the same time. I could just run around naked until it was all done. It's the same kind of feeling of like, I am totally by myself. I can do whatever I want. And so the first thing I did was clean it up because nobody's going to mess it up except me.
I was gonna say first thing you did was have a naked dance party.
Nah, I'm afraid my naked dance party days are not as joyful as they used to be, especially if there's a mirror anywhere around.
Why you just cover the mirrors?
Like a house of mourning. No naked dance parties. Too many neighbors too close. City.
This is where you and I are opposite. When Frankie's gone, even for a night, I miss him a lot.
Aw.
I miss him while he's at work. We send little texts back and forth.
You need to do more. That's what I think.
You just told me I was doing too much.
Yeah, you need to do more.
Figure it out.
Doesn't involve your arm. The first thing I did was like, I'm going to clean this joint up. I'm going to mop the floors. I joyfully mopped my kitchen floors because the only person... I love the spousal unit. He has this thing. This is going to sound so petty and small. He washes anything in the sink, and then he just kind of waves his hands around so that the floor is covered with little drops of water. Whereas
that is petty and small.
But we have dogs, so it doesn't take long for the floor to be covered with little pools of mud. So then what happens is, I mean, there is a dish towel literally sitting inches away from his hands. But what the dish towels are for is not for drying your hands. It's for making little nests of damp dish towels all over the place. There's certain things he will not do. He has this idea that somehow it's better to just stack everything up on the counter on little nests of dish towels and let it dry rather than actually drying the thing. This is why people get divorced for like no good reason. I had a screaming fit the other day because I was tired of him not saying okay when I speak to him.
We have that too, but we do it once again. We do it to each other. Like I'll say something and he doesn't say anything, or he'll say something and then he'll repeat it louder and louder, and finally he'll say, "Do you have your hearing aids in?" And I will say, "Why no."
I gave him like such a meltdown lecture. Even NASA says, okay, or roger that, or copy that. I just lost my mind. You're just making me repeat myself and repeat myself. People think, wow, what an achievement. 30 years of marriage. And I'm thinking, what an achievement that I haven't murdered him in his sleep.
Aren't some statements, though, just rhetorical that you don't need an okay?
Always the okay, because otherwise, see? Okay. There, you did that. Wasn't hard, was it? Okay.
Well, no, I got you in headphones. So,
I
hear you.
I gave him every version. Okay, got that, copy that, roger that. Yeah, yep. Any of these, just so that I don't feel like I've wandered into the twilight zone.
Yeah, see, we're all guilty of that over here.
Oh.
Everybody. And half the time, I'm not paying attention anyway, and I just pretend.
There you go.
Pretend I'm listening.
There you go.
And that's when I should say okay, because I have no idea what he said.
You should say okay so he thinks that you listened when you know that you didn't.
Frankie, I said I love you.
I heard that
I know
too.
He's
okay, I heard it. Okay. So this all blew up. I'd already yelled at him for the lack of okay a few hours before. But then, again, small household tasks. I said something about the recycling, and he said, I told you I was going to take the recycling, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you did? He goes, I told you. I said, did I say okay? He said, you were looking right at me. I said, I look at all kinds of things and ignore them. Look around this house. I look at everything here and ignore it all the time. If I don't say, and so then it was like right back in his face. And then we had a big fight.
When was this? Last night?
Yeah, a couple days ago. I'm still churning over it.
You're still churning? Is
churning. Oh, he's left, remember?
I know.
He just took his little travel bag and his bike messenger bag and toddled off to the airport. Hasta la vista, wife.
Is he going somewhere nice at least?
California.
Yeah.
Although the people he's staying with did inadvertently lock him out of their house and leave town.
So how's he getting in? Through a window?
A neighbor.
Okay.
Are you?
I can't tell you the last time I locked a door in this house.
Well, because nobody can even find that house.
That's true.
Were you a neighbor, giver, keyer, tour, or were you a hide it somewhere person?
I was neither. My keys were always lost person, which is why I always had dogs, because no matter how small they were, I counted on them to scare away burglars. In Michigan, I actually lived in the good neighborhoods where everyone hated my guts. Where my husband would bring his lifted Bronco and they would yell at him as he drove down the street.
Bringing down the property values for everybody.
Of course, of course.
The only thing that I hate about those big giant trucks, if they park in front of your house, you can't see anything but their big giant truck, which is
I love driving big giant trucks.
That's fine to
It
drive
makes me feel
it.
like a badass.
Well, you are a badass, although you're a badass with bad judgment too. But
I'm actually wearing a shirt right now that says badass on the front of it. So.
hence the phrase came readily to mind.
Readily.
I have no objections to people with giant Bigfoot lifted trucks, but when they park right in front of my house, that's all I see.
You can't see anything.
That's all I see. There's somebody around the corner here who has, you know how in the big city your truck, if you work with it and you go to different neighborhoods, is apt to get covered with graffiti.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody has a box truck that they park every now and then in front of our house that's covered with like swear words and graffiti and gang
Nice.
signs. And I'm like, I live in a nice neighborhood, but I get to look at gang signs and graffiti till you move this thing. And I can't tell you how tempted I am to just go do bad things to it.
Well, Clifford is pristine and he's in his designated parking spot. The only problem is that the lift gate won't come down, so he's not very useful to me right now.
You could chuck a dead spouse in there if you needed to, but not with your arm like that.
Yeah. You have to climb in. So I cannot climb in the back and open up the lift gate from the inside.
So what you're telling me is your husband can't take you anywhere with him in that truck that he likes to drive so well, so he has to leave you behind. Oh my gosh, I wonder if that's a coincidence.
I don't ride in the back of the truck.
I don't know. If you can't put stuff in there, maybe he'd,
But I can't get hay for the goats.
Right.
Which is
Well, he
a
has
sad situation.
to go do that by himself without you. A sad
He's been doing
situation.
that.
Yeah, all by himself. See, I
It's
guess
another reason I miss him.
I guess he's miserable, but if it were I'd be happy. I still remember there's a line. I think it's a Beckett play. One of the characters says in the middle of the play, "I am alone." Good.
You remember lines from Beckett plays. I remember lines from The Big Bang Theory. So there's another polar opposite.
That's okay. It's all right. I like you fine how you are. Just don't bring those goats over here. We'll be fine. Now, let me ask you. You say you're going to teach this puppy not to eat goat poop.
Yes, I know how I'm going to do it.
Oh?
Yes, I specifically asked how to do that. And what I was told is collect some goat poop, which are little hard balls like the size of raisins for anyone who doesn't know.
Or who's been lucky enough to live their life without having had to learn.
Put it in a little pile on the front deck and pour hot sauce on it. He will not even like the smell of the hot sauce. And after he smells it a couple of times, he will figure that all goat poop is like that and will leave it alone. And then he can go out in the backyard to play with Butters.
$5 says he eats goat poop for the rest of his life.
I hope not. We've had one dog in the hospital for that.
$5.
$4,000.
$5 says he eats goat poop for the rest of his life.
Yeah. You're so negative.
I am.
I'm a positive trainer.
Oh, yeah. Very positive. Let me tell you something. All of their positive reinforcement. And then comes that day where you just go, I'm whacking you right on your little snout. And then you do. And that's that.
Have you seen pictures yet? I sent you pictures of him, how cute he is.
He is very cute.
Nobody's going to whack his little snout.
I would.
I know you would. That's why I'm not sending him to you to be trained.
Snout whacker. That's me. I'm a snout whacker.
Snout whacker, husband hater.
No, just respite care. I just need respite care from this spousal unit once in a while. That's not too much to ask. Little respite care. Thanks for listening to the Turi Writers She Said What podcast. Since you've made it to the end, you might want to know that my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, is not only available in print, but now also in complete audiobook form, narrated by me and available on Audible.